I've been throwing myself at... Oh, there's no audio. There we go. So I've been throwing myself at this stage for a couple attempts in different builds, and I finally found one that worked, which was going totally max block with the relic that heals you on blocking, and then distributes and proliferates the reflect damage out that you reflect on blocking, which is the blue number. And it's not absolute. You can see, like, I lost a life, so I'm at 9, not 10 early on, before I had, like, a lot of my block stuff set up, but it's basically working. I'm currently at like 50, what is it, 50 something percent block. I'm at 55% block, it caps at 75, so I'm not even really at all the way up there, but it's enough to pretty much guarantee I don't die straight up, and I, for the most part, live, which is the benchmark, is can I for the most part live. Yeah, now I just have to survive until the end, but I need to get any amount more block chance, like there's 57.5, there's a new one. So you can see, like, the build itself involves me just sitting in the middle, and I couldn't get past that wave of invisible guys that was just like getting out mobbed, but this seems to kind of benefit from being mobbed in a sense, right? Because I'm blocking more, that I'm healing more, that I'm proliferating the damage more. So in a matter of just survival, this seems to be like the optimal build, is this max block, Oathkeeper, heavy armor build, because it just gets me where I need to go. And then the extra points I was putting into life regen, which is not out of 3 there, and then I guess Flash of Light, because more attacks equals more triggers, maybe. But you could see it's just like total max block, life on block, that's it. Flash of Sigil of Flames, which is the chaining fire beam thing, not very good. I probably would have put on the Righteous Fire, whatever it's called, one. And then the Shield of Vengeance, and also, like, these don't really matter. These just get you to where you can get your block stuff set up, because all your damage is coming from blocking, then reflecting it, and then doing the mirror to bounce it back in the blue numbers. The other numbers aren't as important, except for, like, later on. There's more reflect and block, because that's just, like, it's a bajillion of the damage is being reflected as blocks. That's most of my damage is coming from that. But this was just done to finish off this level, because once I finish this level, I think I completed all the base content in the game. Then it's just a matter of leveling up individual characters to 20. Like, I have my Oathkeeper at 19 even, he's not even at 20 yet, to fully unlock whatever that stuff is. Then once that's done, I believe there's nothing else in the game to unlock aside from that one level where it's like an uber boss that isn't fully out yet. You can see even here I'm getting absolutely gangbanged, but I'm surviving still. The build's pretty good, I think, overall. The max block Oathkeeper seems to be the way forward when it comes to, like, I want to progress, and I have a little bit of time to ramp, because you do need to get this stuff going, right? Until these are both 5, it's whatever. But there's the ritual complete. I can't block the death ghosts, so they just kill me. Slowly, though. I am healing, actually, from the other stuff, which is funny. Blah, there it is. Alright, ritual concluded. I've got Brand of Flame, which is the burn propagation one, Spectral Steed, instead of the shield charge or whatever. An additional selection slot for the specific type for weapon selections. A new rune has been unlocked. An ancient rarity when it comes to armor. Pretty cool there. So you see everything else is filled out. All the little circles are filled out. So all that shit is done. In the archive, I'm just missing Death Sweep for a power ability, which I think comes from this at 20. Nope, that doesn't come from that 20. Is it all just from this? Or no, Death Sweep might come from the... Oh yeah, that comes from leveling up a Barbarian to 15. So I just have to level up the other classes to 15, and then to unlock their different abilities. Like, I'm still missing Precision Volley, and then the Shard of the Dying Star there. This is missing Edge of Darkness, and the Bandit set, so a couple more things to do. But I did finish all the base stuff. And now I could put in, if I wanted to, these obelisks to get more difficulty and more scaling. Which, I don't know if I want to do, but I could do. And then I could go to, where is it? Like, Scorching Wastes. And this goes to 5. I could take this all the way up on, like, a new class if I wanted to level up a new class. So say I want to do like Barbarian, because I haven't done much Barbarian. So I could take Barbarian up from the beginning. Maybe we'll go... I guess we'll just go Veteran of the War for 2-hand stuff. So I'm doing a tier that goes to 5 this time, and I'm doing on the Barbarian. because I wanted to unlock the level 10, which I did just get. And the build I'm going with at the moment, can I show you while I'm here? No, I really can't. Throwing axes as the main, which is because it's ranged as a barbarian and I didn't want to be in melee range. And then I have the spinning blades as the passive going. I just have them set to really nothing but AoE, which is attack reach, and then chance to stun on primal. So it's like passively kind of stunning around me constantly. But then the main damage dealer is this thing, which is Seismic Slam. This is great. Seismic Slam is just like a ground slam, but it triggers in such a large attack reach that I also have a lot of reach built. So it ends up with having like a pretty sizable chunk of reach set up with it. I'm a big fan of that. You can see like the arc of it is like almost 180 degrees, like it's getting there. Or maybe like it's wider at this point. Anyway, maybe somewhere between 180 and 270, I guess. It's going pretty good though. The artifact I grabbed so far was the attack speed one. It just feels like it works the best because it does work with the spinning blades. So it's constantly ramping that attack speed as long as something is within my blade radius. And then of course Leap Slam as my movement skill because it just feels the best on a barbarian. My damage is for sure lacking, but it's like pretty sustained, so it's like kind of okay. Barbarian is not something I've invested in too much, and I don't think I'm going to get particularly far, but this is Corruption 4. I do have it set to Corruption 4, so everything is a lot harder and angrier than normal. So keep that in mind, but I am grabbing attack speed and reach and crit chance and that sort of stuff. We're just kind of going all damage, because it kind of feels the best, I think, to do with this. I'm trying to weasel my way around Hug and Ugg here. Ah, it got me. I thought it was clear. Well, as always, I'm bleeding out in the beginning of the end. Okay, there's one of them dead. I think we'll pick up Eye of the Berserker next. It just gives me more flat damage on my axe throw. It's not much, but it's something. Okay, first boss dead. I don't know what to think about that, per se, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get obliterated come quickly here. So, anyway, the main reason was to get level 10 on the faction, which I got, so we'll check back in when I test out the new ability. So for this next build, I want to get the Rogue to 10, which I just did in this run, and I'm doing it with Throwing Knives, which I just have Projectile Split, and then Instant Attack Chance in. Instant Attack Chance, from what I can tell, just basically bypasses the CD and does another one instantly. Then Spinning Blades, which are like chakrams you release, and they kind of like swirly-whirly around. Those have Projectile Amount, plus increased effect of the Sunrune, so it's more projectile amount. Then I have the attack speed, and then the new one we unlocked from the Berserk just recently, which is the, sorry, that's the Band of Power here, the Mega Crit thing, where you have a 15% chance to make a crit, a Mega Crit, which is just 10 times the damage, so kind of like the Amber Heard Johnny Depp Mega Pint, this is a Mega Crit. Same, but different. And then the Mark of Shadows is funny. I just gave it crit hit chance and crit hit damage, but it just makes like a clone, which these little marks on people's heads, and then they just like dash around. So you can see a purple clone right there. That's just damage. And then I grabbed Blade Dash to the Moon, but I want to show off this one thing, which is interesting. It's the new rune we got from 2 rounds ago. It's one of the Eldritch runes called the Yiln rune, +1 rune slot to a random other ability. So if I don't want to put a rune on Blade Dash because I don't really care about it, what this does is it gives a random rune slot to either my Throwing Knives, my Spinning Blades, or my Mark of Shadow. So in this case, it hit Mark of Shadows. So you could utilize that to like... Now, you could naturally have 3, right, if I had an upgrade max. This would give me up to 4. So you could really like push something over the edge and maybe do a different type of setup with that you wouldn't necessarily normally be able to do because you don't have enough, you know. So say using lunar damage or something. It's actually kind of crazy for things like, imagine a projectile that does lunar damage. You give it freeze chance, you give it damage to freeze, and then you give it split amount or something, or if it's a projectile. Well, you only had 3, but now with the 4th one, the extra one you get from the Blade Dash, right, or the Yiln rune, you could send it over the edge, and you could get something along the lines of more effect. Like, you should be able to use an Eldritch on this now, which would be kind of crazy. So you could have, like, enhanced effect on your already enhanced thing, just getting 50%. So in a way that giving a rune to something else really just reads 50% more effect on something else, which is kind of crazy if it's like thematically on board. The stuns from the throwing daggers have been actually absurd. Like getting the primal damage and having an amount of primal stun has been super fun. You can see like when I'm fighting a boss, I'm just sitting in front of them. They're being attacked at such a rate and stunned at such a rate that they just kind of crumple and die, which I'm a big fan of bosses crumpling and dying. So, yeah, it's been like a pretty fun journey. So, here we're about to get, in a second, there it is. So, Marcus Shaz, I get an extra rune, right? So, say I didn't want to put, like I had nothing else I wanted to put on there. Probably want to do target amount, but I'm not going to, but say I didn't want to do target amount. I could do Eldritch and do increased primordial and give it so much more crit rate, or crit chance, and then crit damage. If that was like a thing I wanted to do. So, very, very cool there. So, this makes the target amount go up. And now it should target way more people. Instead of 5, it should be like 9, I guess. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if things work the way I think they work. Kind of just like winging it. Yeah, because it says marks up to 5, and it says faction 5. I assume that that's the number I'm target amounting increasing, but if it lets me do it, it should be kosher, but if it isn't, then maybe they should make it so like it doesn't let you use a rune if it doesn't actually work. But you don't have access to viewing all the runes. So I'm kind of under the assumption that if it lets you use them, they should be applicable to some part of that skill's function, which would make the most sense. So, like, I can't put projectile split on a projectile that couldn't split, right? That makes sense to me. Assuming it's like a tag-based system. Yeah, either way, it's been going pretty good. I'm just going to keep trying out fun stuff, and then, yeah, checking out the different skill expressions, because there's a lot of cool things you could do. All right, so I am in the big boss section, the top left, that basically says, we'll show it after I fail inevitably, that it's like currently not beatable, and this is all a meme. However, I'm trying to beat it still, and the way I have kind of thought about trying to beat this is a little bit funny. So you basically have like this prep time area where you can basically max a character out. You get level 18, you can get all the gear you like, get all the stuff set up. And I think that Falling Comet is going to be my biggest single hit if it crits with Band of Primal Power for the Mega Crit. And I want to see if that does enough to actually like push it over the edge. I have no idea if that's enough. Because this boss, this final boss, he can't be CC'd as much as I've tried. He seemingly can't be like, what's it called? He can't be like stunned. I haven't been able to get him stunned either. He can't be frozen. But I can rarity up all this gear and make it like perfect. I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. I'm just kind of clicking shit. And maybe I can make an amalgamation of gear that's better with this, that like rolls perfect, you know, because you can keep like infinite rerolls. Maybe I can get like something like this and whatever. Anyway, it just gives me a bunch of free base abilities. So you'll see him in the center here. He's going to pop up. And I'm going to try to hit space where I'm going to try to one-shot him or do as much damage. But he basically takes like no fucking damage. So I'm waiting on my movement skill here and hitting space bars. I've already lost a life. So 1.4 million. That was the hit. And it did like nothing to him. Nothing. Alright, so if I hit a 1.4 mil and it basically does nothing, I cannot imagine this is possible. Now it does say this content is hard. You're not expected to beat it with the current available power in the game. Does that mean that someone has beat it? I have no idea. Maybe I'll look up a video eventually. But it was like, basically, I mean, a 1.4 million hit is so much higher than anything I've ever been able to hit. And it did a pittance of his 10 health bars, of which there are 3 bosses still. So, like, what is even happening there? I have no idea what to expect from that if, like, after all the big bust, I can't even get through it. And aside from that, of like the stuff I'm missing, right? You see I'm missing a couple of races here, right? The Death Touched and the Auraborn. These are just from getting my things to 20. So the Oathbound to 20 gets the Auraborn. And I want to say Death Touch is from Cult. Yeah, Death Touch is from Cult. They're just like different races because it's a different expression of building, which doesn't really help. It doesn't really do a whole lot. The Titan Slayer Origin, I'm actually not sure where that even comes from. Might be one of these. No, because that's Death Sweep. This is Precision Volley. This is Shard of the Dying Star. And this is Edge of Darkness. So I'm not sure where the Titan thing comes from. I could see a couple. Oh, is that from there? It is from here. Okay. Titan Slayer comes from here. Longbows and sigils, but I don't know how to beat this. There might be some way to cheese it. But, yeah, aside from the stuff that's there, I've basically got everything else in the game. I just have to finish getting everyone else to 15, and then I've got all the goods. But then it's just, I don't know how to get through this Zareth Arn the Eye of Carnage thing. So I did a little bit of looking, and some people were able to beat the Carnage stage using dodge in certain combinations. Others had luck with like very large amounts of the damage reserve, where you distribute the damage over in multiple seconds versus one hit. I'm going to try the dodge route, but that does mean I have to now get my rogue to 15 to unlock the artifact that lets us get all of our dodge back whenever we, or there's a chance on auto attacking basically to have it happen. So you're capped at 5 dodges, but it didn't look like he was attacking too often. So that might be able to take care of one aspect of it, which is the damage in the first phase. So we'll give this a try, but I gotta first get my rogue to 15, so I'm doing that right now. Okay, so we have our faction 15, so we should be able to unlock that relic now. I don't think we're going to be able to succeed on this run here, because we're about to be in tier 5. But we did get our ritual level to 17, so maybe like 2 more ritual runs, and we'll have enough to at least get that max, which it gets us something. I don't remember what, but it's something not that important, I don't think. It's so much ritual level at these higher stages for just even depositing into the middle. Even if I can't complete it, you just for the depositing part, you get a ton. This tier 5 requires like an ungodly amount of damage though. Holy shit. But we're just going to end the run here. Just going to sit in the middle and let God take its course. Amazing. We just wanted to get this. Edge of Darkness is what it's called. Primary attacks have a 10% chance to refresh all charges. Each time you do, you throw 3 daggers that bounce, doing lunar. So we're going to get that one, and then the other one is going to be the one that gets us the shattering, I think, is what I want. All right, let's give this one try and see if foundationally it at least makes sense. And if it doesn't, we'll, give up there. Probably just do Shadow Strike because it's lunar. We're sticking with lunar. But if I have to upgrade it, we'll get there. Defensively is what we're really looking at here. Not so much offensively. If I can survive, then the rest should kind of fall in place. Attack speed, dodge. And then we want Blade Dash for more dodge. Okay, so we're going to do Blade Dash with the random. And looks like I went to Shadow Strike, which is fine. I don't really have any bearing on what is doing what exactly, but okay, so all of that is done. Now our artifacts. Stalker with attack speed that we want. The third rarity always comes with a free thing, which is kind of funky, but yeah. Instant attack. Okay, I think we're kind of set up enough, so now it's just a matter of, does the dodge work, and if so, am I attacking fast enough that Edge of Darkness is refreshing it? Here's the moment of truth. We're going to find out if this works or not. Let's see. And okay, it didn't dodge at all. So I don't know what's up with that, but the dodge just doesn't work. Okay, I guess. So interesting. For some reason, you can't dodge. All right. I didn't expect that to happen. Well, I'm at a loss there. If we can't dodge it, then I don't know how you're supposed to survive it. I guess you could just manually move out of the way, but that kind of defeats the purpose of that. Maybe there's something as far as damage-wise with Death Sweep, because it's 1,000 damage divided as a power ability, but that doesn't really help us. It just gives us damage. Let me just dodge. We have to physically dodge. I don't know. I'm at a bit of a loss. You could try Cult of the Coup with Barrier, but I don't even know if we'll be able to survive that. So maybe we'll try a Barrier build and see if that works. Like, pick every amount of Barrier we can grab. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Let's check back when I have that done, and we'll see, see if that does anything. Okay, now we're going to try a Barrier build using the Falling Meteor thing that we, that's our standard whatever. For our generator, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's like, I guess we could just use Cosmic Ray because it just targets better, but it doesn't make a difference. The idea is that we're going to have enough freeze and like throughput that our shit should just kill stuff, you know? And as long as we could keep like the iframes going while we're in the air, maybe that's enough to survive. I don't know. We're picking up all of Obliterate, all of Call to Wintermoon, and then all of the barrier thing. Arcane Orbs doesn't make a difference really either, because it's just all our damage is gonna come from our movement skill. Let me redo this. I've got an idea. I think I want to, if I can get an extra scroll onto Comet, that would be even better. Okay, can we skip this and then not have to deal with it? This is making sense in my mind. Okay, so now we want to click on Arcane Orbs. Then we want to Eldritch Rune onto our Comet. So it's just a 50-50. It went onto Comet too. Perfect. We want this to have crit damage, crit chance, more primordial, and then damage to frozen. And that should be good. Okay, so that should hit pretty fucking hard now. Movement charges, and then movement charge. We're picking up the Shard of the Dying Sun. Your barrier now begins recharging immediately at twice or more rate. When it reaches 1, it blows up. Band of the Primal Power. Mega crits. Okay. I think I'm set up enough. So the whole... I'm waiting for my barrier to come back. Okay, my barrier's full. I've got 4 movement skill charges, which I'm curious if... So those don't recharge until I'm back on the ground. And also, my barrier seems to go away every time I... Oh no, it's just when it goes to full it pops, that's right. Okay, I saw like a 2 mil. There's a 1.5 mil. Alright, this is failing masterfully. I'm about to die again. 200k ain't enough, and I'm dead. Alright, well, damage-wise, I was able to do some damage to it. Okay, this time we're trying to freeze plus the mega crits. I'm trying to only hit spacebar when he attacks with the jump, but it's like not really enough. Oh, it's such a big fucking radius. It like one-shots me. I can't, I'm just not fast enough to get out of his fucking reach. Man. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, I think I'm probably gonna call it there. I feel like I've given it a few good attempts. I'm probably gonna wait to the next patch to see if there's more tools to do it. I know people have done it, but yeah, I cannot seem to get past it in its current iteration. But maybe we'll revisit it. The content you're not really supposed to beat, but legally can. But I'll probably still play some, definitely when there's the next patch. But that's it for now, and I hope you enjoyed the 3 videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.